parts we'll need for this procedure include 1 3/4 inch shrink clamp, 5 5/8 shrink clamps, and 1 5/8 3/4 adapter. First, we'll start with removing our air piping assembly. Then, using hose crimp pliers, we're going to crimp off our inlet and outlet side of our heater core. Do not attempt to use anything other than hose crimps. Now we'll crimp off our 5/8 hose coming from our engine block. Then we'll crimp off our 3/4 inch hose coming from our carrier unit. Now we're going to start removing any clamps that secure our hoses together. We'll then remove any clamps holding our hoses onto the water valve and our coolant Y. Now we're going to remove our hoses from our water valve and our coolant Y. We'll inspect our coolant Y to see if there is any damage. If you look closely at all three ends, they've been over crimped. This will require replacement. Next, we'll move approximately 6 inches from our 3/4 inch carrier coolant line. Next, we'll remove approximately 2 inches from our engine block line. This will ensure a proper crimp with our new clamp. We will need a new line from our water valve to our coolant Y. Next, we'll pre-assemble our coolant Y fitting. We'll start by installing a 6-inch piece of 5/8 hose that takes place of the 6-inch piece of 3/4 hose we cut out earlier. This must be done to get the hoses to adapt. Then we'll install our adapter fitting into our 5/8 end. Now we're going to pre-install our Gates heat crimps. We'll need 2 5/8 on our water valve side, 1 5/8 on our engine block side, 2 5/8 and 1 3/4 on our carrier side. Next, we're going to install our pre-assembled Y. We'll start by installing the hose onto the water valve. Then we'll install our engine block line onto our Y. When installing the lines, you must make sure they are completely installed onto the Y fitting. You must be past the second barb. Then we'll install our 3/4 inch carrier hose into our adapter fitting. Next, we're going to use our heat gun to shrink our clamps. Using a torch will damage the clamps, preventing a proper seal. Be certain to heat the entire clamp. Failure to do so will lead to an improper seal. Next, we'll remove our hose clamps. Always be certain to top off the coolant reservoir. Next, we'll pressure test our coolant system. Do not exceed the recommended cap pressure. Now, while the coolant system is under pressure, we're going to inspect all of our work for leaks. This concludes our carrier coolant hose campaign.